All right, guys, let's talk about this. Bring in Gina Loudon, Morgan Ortagus, and Kevin Paul Scott. You know, listen, obviously, Gina, there's been more than one occasion where the media, who is just listening for any small miscue possible, has taken Donald Trump's words out of context. Is this one of them?
Of course it is, Charles, and we can expect it every single day because the media is going to do everything in their power to distract and talk about what Donald Trump is saying so they don't have to actually talk about what Hillary Clinton has done. When we talk about the issue of ISIS and Hillary Clinton, we all know topics like Benghazi come up, topics like what has happened all around the world with regime change, topics like the deals that the Clinton Foundation has made with some of these rogue nations and how she's personally profited from it. And so they don't want to talk about that. They'd rather talk about what Donald Trump says, which, by the way, isn't dangerous. It's what she does that's dangerous.
You know, Morgan, also they didn't talk about Hillary Clinton on more than one occasion talking about how Donald Trump is a great recruiter for ISIS. It's not dissimilar from what saying that someone's a founder of ISIS.
You know, the amazing thing to me, Charles, is that this election can be won if you talk about the failed policies of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. You don't actually need all of the theater and all of the distractions. I have been on your show very critical of the policies that this administration has pursued in Iraq, which did lead to the growth of ISIS, which used to be al-Qaeda in Iraq, which was decimated whenever this president took office. So it's kind of mind-boggling to me that we continue to have these ridiculous discussions. This election could easily be won by Donald Trump or any Republican if they would just focus on the failed policies of this administration that the American people are clearly incredibly frustrated with.
Kevin, that being said, it takes two to tangle. You know, Donald Trump, obviously, in any of these appearances, he does talk about economy, economics, and other things, but the media will zero in on any sort of gaffe or perceived gaffe, and that is the headline for the next day.
Yeah, that's certain. The media is obviously going to focus on it. But I agree with what she was saying. Here's the reality. The policies of this administration are so terrible, especially when it comes to foreign policy, that there's no need for hyperbole. And by using these broad, like, oh, he's the founder of ISIS, I understand that it's sarcasm, but sometimes when you go so over the top, you take away from the real truth. And the reality is that on almost every foreign policy issue, the Obama administration has been really wrong. They've created a more unstable world. And if we can focus, I agree, we got to focus on these issues. Let's cut back on the hyperbole so that we can focus on how terrible it really is.
Right. Gina, what do you make of that? That there's ways to bring all of these things up, and you got on your side of your Donald Trump for facts, so you don't really have to be so hyperbolic about it.
It's a thing, though, this is part of Donald Trump's personality. If they were criticizing Hillary for the things that she's said that might be taken in a different context, or might be taken out of context, rather, as I believe this was, you know, but they don't do that. And so Donald Trump, on Monday, he's going to give a speech on radical Islamic terror. He's going to state his entire policy in that speech, and we'll be hearing from him then a very serious discussion. But this was at a rally where he's identifying with his audience, and you can't expect him not to make jokes. What speeches have ever been given at rallies without jokes? I mean, even when you intro someone at a rally, you're thinking about what jokes you're going to tell. I think it was trying to be funny, and I think that maybe we all need to laugh a little bit more and start looking again at actions instead of words.
You know, I got to tell you something. I don't know how much any of us are going to be able to laugh before the election and maybe even after the election, but thanks a lot, guys.